All right, Carrie, thank you for joining me. My name's Andrea Stutt, and I'm a Ruby Ambassador with Plexus. And this is Carrie
Yay.
Ham. Yay! And this is Carrie Ham, and she is also one of my leaders on my team. And we are the Legacy Builders. And we are excited to do this video today because it's basically a spinoff of a conversation we had this week with one of our accountability calls. And it was such helpful information that we decided to record it for our team and for whoever else could benefit from it. So
A lot more work.
that's fine. And we're both busy moms and we homeschool and we have a lot going on. So just know that anything could happen. But we wanted to just share some valuable information, but it's information that Carrie specifically has learned the past few months. And I asked her to share with us today. Carrie, I'd like to ask you first, when did you start working the business when did you start doing your business?
I joined in July, this past July of 2017.
Yeah.
And then in August was when I decided I needed to get these products paid for. So
Okay. So in August, so it's the beginning, or it's early April right now of 2018. But what I would like you just to give us a little bit of background on how you came into the business and what your perspective was at first on doing your business and reaching out to people and all that. Just give us a little background on where you come from, what your things that you pursue in life outside of Plexus and things like that.
Okay. Well, my biggest fear to start with was the fear of selling or coming off as a salesman or anything like that. My truly biggest fears were twofold. One was violating any friendships, any relationships, because relationship is so valuable to me and meaningful to me. I'm one of those personalities, like, if you're my friend, you are my friend, and that counts huge for me. And the last thing I wanted was for anybody to think that I saw them all of a sudden as a dollar sign, or I would violate their friendship just to earn a buck.
Yeah.
So I never wanted that. And I didn't want even people that I knew who had known me, maybe not in a personal relationship, but had seen me on Facebook and knew I stood for Christ, knew that who I was. And then to see me turn into one of those people who's just slamming them with buy my product, and not know that I really am the genuine person that I am. So I just didn't want to violate either of that. I'm just also, I'm a Sunday school teacher. I've been a women's retreat speaker several times. We had a huge conference here a couple years ago, and I was one of the main speakers for that. And I post Jesus on Facebook all the time. So the last thing I want to do is violate, my witness. So violating relationships and violating my witness were my two biggest fears for me to overcome.
Yeah.
And to have to work through. And for me, I had to come to a place where I realized, how much my health had been helped, my husband's, my mother's, and then I started seeing my friends, and that helped build my belief because I realized this really is helping people. And so when I was able to look at it like, no, I really want to help you. And if you don't want it, that's fine. That's not going to change where I stand with you because I love you for you. I hear you, and I think this would help you. And I'm not offended at all if people do or don't. It doesn't matter to me.
Yeah. And so that was in August that you kind of started inching your way into the business, but your business really kind of took off in December because you kind of, I think, drew your line in the sand. Can you tell us a little bit about kind of what happened with you?
Right. Well, that was, I hear a screaming child.
I have a screaming child, actually.
Anyway, I had come off of, we had come off of the whole computer thing in October, and that I had several people who were very frustrated over it, and I thought, I don't know it myself. I haven't even been in the business long enough to know how to work through it, and it kind of slowed things down. Well, then, I just decided I'm going to keep going. I'll figure this out. They're trying really hard, and by December, they rolled out those the bonuses that, if you get so many, I think it was 3 ambassadors, then you got bonus money. Well, I was at a point where I was going, yeah, I want that. I
Yeah.
really want that. So that gave me the courage to really start putting it out there. And again, at the same time, I was learning not to be offended or hurt or not feeling like I was trying to sell people. Like I was really just able to be genuine.
Yeah.
So that happened in December. And then in January, there was that's when they had the codes for so many codes for free ambassadors. So, I mean, I truly was thinking about people that I had talked to, and I thought their big thing was the money. And so I thought I can get them joined for free, you know, basically. And so when I was calling just as many as I could with the codes that I had, they were super excited, and I was able to explain, you know, there's a commitment that comes with it, but if you really want to help your health, then I have something that can help you do that.
Yeah.
And then in February, oh my gosh, actually in January, I thought, okay, I'm going for gold by February or March. And then February hit, and you want to talk about feeling like I just spiraled downhill. That was February for me. My husband was in 2 wrecks with hogs. Actually, there were 3. So we were dealing with 3 accident insurance claims, rental cars. One of them was a rental car. 2 of them were our car. It's just a whole long story. But anyway, it was, and then things happening just here in my home, friends of ours in horrific situations, horrific accidents. I mean, it was just like coming from everywhere. And business-wise, I felt like I just started spiraling downhill. That's the only month from the moment I started, I didn't get 1 customer or 1 ambassador. And and then there, you had started, and I had asked you, can we start an accountability, or can we have, I forget how that went, but you know, can we do that? That would help me. So you started it, and then I wasn't able to join. And that I just started to feel like disconnected. I mean, I was like, am I even doing the right thing? I mean, you know, just maybe this is just too much. I'm overwhelmed. I can't even keep up. And then I had been watching Bob Heilig, which is a whole other thing. He had started with this. You could join for a month for $1. And I thought I can deal with $1. I'll learn what I can, but then I can't afford, you know, the $40 or $50, whatever it is per month. And so I thought I'll just end it the day before, which I'm really good at that. I'm a scheduler and stuff. Well, I missed it. And so then it charged me I want to say it was $57, but anyway, it charged me, and I just went freak out. Like, how am I going to explain this to my husband? Like, it just charged our card, and I hadn't even discussed it with you because I really wasn't going to do it.
Yeah.
So I called Andrea, all freaked out, like, oh my gosh. And we had different things. Our team, the upper teams, you know, Michelle's team and stuff, they were really, and Melissa's team, everybody was kind of changing their team pages and making everything more streamlined and really working on training us. And so now I've got this Bob thing that I just paid for. So I'm like, I don't have time to really invest in both because they were both really good.
Yeah.
And I thought, well, I paid money for this, so I'm going to go for what I paid for and get what I can out of it. And then I'll switch back over. Yeah. Well, it ended up being so fruitful for me. And his whole philosophy, not that what they were doing wasn't, I just didn't have time for both.
Sure.
So as I was learning his, I was learning about attraction marketing, which that was, you know, the big thing. One of the first videos that I saw, and I can't remember who it was, but you had shared the video with me when I first joined. And it was one of the diamonds. And she said, I never go after people. I make sure people come after me. And I do attraction marketing. And that went off like, I need that because I don't ever want to like be hunting people down desperate. You know? Yeah. So I didn't realize, of course, in the God and all how he works, that's what Bob Heilig was. I didn't know that when I joined. And so as he was coaching and training, I sat back and I wasn't quite measuring up to what he was wanting. And I had a lot of questions, and his rock stars were amazing. I was like, these people are like, do they just do this all day and have nobody around them? Like, this is all they have time to do? And I didn't quite feel like I measured up. But what I didn't realize was I was faithful to watch the videos. I was faithful. And the things I felt like I could implement, I did. And then as I kept hearing him say certain things over and over and over, then the picture started to get clearer and clearer and clearer. And then all of a sudden I realized, oh, I could do that. And he, helped build my belief. And so that was, back where on one of the, when I felt like I lost my momentum, one of the videos I had watched, he had said, don't lose your momentum. That's one of the hardest things to recover from. And I was like, I lost it. I'm dead. I am so dead.
So hold on. So you were doing his training in February when you lost your momentum, or all the things were happening in your life, right? Okay.
Right. And I didn't feel like I had a good grasp on what he was saying yet. I was still in, but
Yeah.
even through the month of February, I kept watching, but I was watching from a distance. I felt like an outsider, but I just kept watching. So then I decided, after I saw that video where he said, don't lose it, get your momentum and keep it. So I was like, okay, you know what? If nothing else, I'm goal oriented, and I had a goal of hitting gold. I'm going to hit gold just because I said I was going to, and I'm not going to miss that. Yeah. So I set out to do it. And in March, I just started going again. Well, by then my belief was building. I had seen so many people. I was getting messages from people. My husband has been, I can't say he's just been out there talking to people, but he's lost so much weight. Not just from this, because it's not like a magic pill or anything, but because he's changed his diet and used Plexus to help him on that journey. So people are noticing and coming to him and asking. So he and I together, he doesn't, I know the business side of it, and he knows, his witness side of it. So anyway, all of a sudden, these people that had been watching even during February when I felt dead as a doornail started surfacing in March. And then people, he's talking about pain points. And I started thinking about people that I knew personally who really struggled, and I really believed it could help them. So I went to those few people personally, in person, and said, I really think this could help you. I mean, if you don't want to, it's totally fine. I would just feel horrible if I didn't tell you. And so they were
bold, but you were bold. You were bold. You were bold.
Yeah, I was. Okay. But they knew I wasn't just trying to sell, Anyway, so that was exciting, for them to say thank you for reaching out. But they knew I knew what was going on. I wasn't just saying, hey, have you heard of Plexus?
Yeah.
I really knew about them. Yeah. And so I think that made a difference, because I knew exactly what could help them. Anyway, does that...
No, that, and then how many people between you and your husband did you add to your team in March? Do you remember?
7. We added 7.
You added 7.
We added 7.
And you added like 5 or 6 in January, right? I'm trying to remember.
Yeah, it was 5 or 6. Yes, I can.
Yeah. Okay. So I think it's just important for people to understand, once you, and I will say in February, or maybe it was early March, I don't know, I saw you starting to do what Bob Heilig talks about, and you were doing live videos on your Facebook page. Yeah. Not Plexus, but they were videos where you added value to the people in your target audience.
Right.
So,
and let them into my world, like, this is who I am.
Yeah.
Because he said people are not going to ever join Plexus. They're going to join you.
Yes.
So they feel connected to you. Then that's who they're going to join. Yeah. And so it's really about letting your audience have a chance to connect to you. If you don't put yourself out there, how are they going to know who you are?
No, exactly. Okay.
And then the other thing that helped as far as March was that I was determined to hit gold. And so my goal, my big, bold goal was I'm going to be gold in April. So in March, I had to seal the deal. I had to get enough people to be able to seal the deal to make it to April. On top of that, that's when you were like this close to Ruby. And I was like, you have worked so hard to help me. Me every second. We have to get you to Ruby. So I had like this double, this is going to happen. Like there was no question in my mind. We will make this happen. I don't know how. And then the whole team rallied behind, and everybody was like, let's do this.
Yes, it was amazing. Yes.
It was fun. And then, as far as gold, I wanted to end it with enough ambassadors so that when I got to April, I should have enough points to hit gold. So that was my goal, and I did that. So I'm pretty convinced I'm going to be gold this month. If I'm not, I'm not. But I'm convinced I will be, because I've really done the work and set it up.
You. So that's what I was going to share really quick is when you get to gold, they say in the business that if you can get to gold, you can get to diamond. And the reason I know that they say that is, number one, you have to do a lot of the heavy lifting, or most of it. Most of us do. We don't just have these rock stars that we sign up right away that just grow their businesses and push us up. That's not typically what happens. So you've had to do the heavy lifting. You've also learned in the process the thought that comes. You've got to strategize. You've got to make sure you have enough people that are reordering. It's not just signing people up, it's people that you're retaining. And so you have achieved a rank that's basically what all the ranks take. It's like you've been able to accomplish that pushing uphill goal. And then once you get there, you really can hit any of the other ranks because you've done the work. So, but that brings me to the last thing I want to touch on with you, and why I specifically wanted to do this call is I want you to share with people how you boldly close the deal, and then how you're doing such a great job. On my team, you are doing a phenomenal job of making sure that people reach their 100 PV every month and that they are retaining. They're giving it at least 90 days. You really are doing a great job of it. So I would love for you to share those elements before we close.
Okay. Well, as far as the closing, that part, I have to totally give Bob Heilig the credit for that, because that's where I learned it from him. He was just like, you can't have any question about it. And he said, and you've got to stop being wimpy about it. And then he used the very things that I used to use. And I'd be like, that's being wimpy. And he'd say, don't say, would it be okay if I added you to this group? Or, well, if you'd like, you know what I mean? He said, that just is saying, I don't have confidence in my product. I don't have confidence in what I do. And so I'm I'm putting the ball in your court so that if you choose, it's kind of like on you. It's, what I'm saying? You're just kind of being wishy-washy. And I realized that, and I realized, I had to ask myself, do I really believe in these products? I do. I've watched too many lives change. So what I do now is if I'm going to add them to like our information, health and wellness group, the one yours, the Live Well, then I don't ask them anymore. I do what Bob recommended, and I say, listen, I'm going to add you to this group, and in 3 days, I'm going to contact you and find out if you've learned anything, and you can tag them in a couple posts, but say, I just want you to pay attention for 3 days, and then I'm going to get with you, and we'll talk about it. When it comes to signing, I'm just very bold, and especially if I know their pain point, but I just say, this is going to help you so much, and I've talked to them the whole time relationship. I mean, I don't just start with a business thing. There's been relationship building the whole time. When we get here, I just say, look, this will help you. I have no doubt it will help you. And so let's just go ahead and get you started. Do you, how committed are you? Are you just wanting to try? I don't even ask them, well, do you want to try? I say, let's get you started. How do you want to start? Do you want to start committed to 3 months, or do you want to start just, giving it a trial for about a month, and then we'll reevaluate? And then based on what they say, if they say, no, I just want to try it. Okay, then let's sign you up as a preferred customer. And I tell them, if you're not committed to really giving it a chance, you won't see any difference in 30 days. So you're really going to have to stick with it. If they say, no, I think I'm committed, then I say, okay, well, what comes with that commitment is you're committing to at least 3 months of reaching 100 PV. Now, I used to not say PV, so people thought that if they hit $100, they were meeting the minimum. And I did too. It wasn't until Andrea said, okay, let me just be very honest with you. I get nothing if you don't pay. And I was shocked. I was like, you don't? I had no idea. The whole time I'm sitting there thinking, I'll be helping you. And so when she said that, I really had to think through, how committed am I to this? So I feel better just telling people you have to hit what's called 100 PV. And so that's going to, depending on what you order, be anywhere from, $115 a month to $130 a month-ish. But you have to hit the 100 PV a month. You have to do it for 3 months, and you need to be committed to the products. And then I tell them, you've got the 60-day money-back guarantee. You're not losing anything. You're investing in your health, you're investing in your future, your family's future. And so, let's just get going on this. And then, that by that point, they're usually like, okay. And then as far as signing up, I don't ever let them sign up. I totally do what you recommended. And I'm so grateful for that, because I just say, okay, give me your information and let's get you signed up. Because it just sounds like that's the way to do it. I've had too many at the beginning that didn't quite do things right, and it just ended up causing problems. And then I felt like I was begging them on the phone, like, could you get back on and could you change this?
Yeah, yeah.
And so this just said it.
Yeah.
Or, it was done right.
Yeah.
And I just explained it all from the beginning, like, this is what it is,
Yeah. You don't ask. You don't even ask. You just say, this is what we do. Let me get your information. And one of the things you said the other day that stuck with me too is when you're talking to them about getting started, you say, I would be surprised if it doesn't help you.
Yeah.
I thought that was even a great way to say it. It's like you're not promising them something, but you're like, I'm that confident in what you're about to do. Like, I would be surprised if it doesn't help you.
Right.
And so,
Exactly.
Well, thank you. Do you have anything else to add? I think we covered all the bases, but
no, I just, when people realize that it's about them,
yes,
and you're wanting to help them, and you genuinely do. You're not faking that, because they can see, you really genuinely, I want to help you. And if they don't, they're not ready, just say, it's okay, you're not ready yet. I'll come back and check on you a while later, and just move on, and don't get your feelings hurt over it, because if they're just not ready yet, they're just not ready yet. And that's
exactly.
So.
Well, thank you so much. I appreciate you sharing your heart, and I hope that the people that are watching this will just keep in mind that you can do this authentically. You can be you. You don't have to change who you are. You are not a salesperson. You're out there changing lives, both for health and people's finances. And, don't ever shy away from that either, because people need extra income, or they need income, and so this is an amazing opportunity to be world changers, but we do have to have the heart and the mindset of a servant mindset, like Carrie has shared, and just move on. If it's not their time, it's okay. So thank you so much for sharing what's been working so well. And I'm ready for you to go gold this month. I'm excited. I know. All right. I know. All right. Well, everybody have a wonderful day, and we will talk to you soon.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye.